Welcome back, everyone, to Rush Hour Reads, your go-to podcast for book summaries designed to elevate your commute and enrich your day. Today's episode is going to be a little different, yet deeply profound. We're diving into a book that touches the very core of human experience, the journey from loneliness to solitude. The book is The Art of Being Alone. Loneliness was my cage. Solitude is My Home by Renuka Gavrani. Whether you've ever felt isolated, misunderstood, or simply needed to find peace in your own company, this episode is for you. It's a guide to embracing solitude and transforming loneliness into a source of strength and self-awareness. So, what's The Art of Being Alone all about? In this beautifully reflective and raw book, Renuka Gavrani opens up about her personal battle with loneliness and how she transitioned from feeling trapped by it to finding solace in solitude. Gavrani explores the psychological and emotional aspects of loneliness, drawing on her own experiences as well as wisdom from philosophical, spiritual, and psychological sources. This book isn't just a personal memoir. It's a roadmap for anyone who wants to learn how to be alone without feeling lonely. Gavrani shows that solitude, when embraced, can be a source of empowerment, creativity, and deep inner peace. Takeaway number 1: the difference between loneliness and solitude. Let's start by breaking down one of the most important distinctions that Gavrani makes in the book: the difference between loneliness and solitude. While loneliness is a feeling of isolation, a deep sense of lacking connection with others, solitude is about choosing to be alone and finding peace and contentment in your own company. Gavrani argues that loneliness is often imposed on us. It can be circumstantial, like moving to a new city, or emotional, like going through a breakup. But solitude is a deliberate act, where we decide to spend time alone, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for self-discovery and growth. Example: think about the last time you felt lonely. Now compare that to a time when you chose to be alone, maybe to read, reflect, or recharge. The difference is in the mindset. When we shift from loneliness to solitude, we reclaim our time and use it to deepen our relationship with ourselves. Takeaway number 2: embracing solitude as a path to self-discovery. One of the central themes of The Art of Being Alone is that solitude is a powerful tool for self-discovery. Gavrani highlights how being alone forces us to confront our inner world, our thoughts, our fears, and our true desires. Without the noise and distractions of other people, we have the chance to listen to our own voice and understand who we really are. This can be uncomfortable at first. Many of us avoid solitude because we don't want to face our insecurities or unresolved emotions. But Gavrani encourages us to lean into that discomfort, because it's through solitude that we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and, ultimately, a stronger sense of self-worth. Practical tip: set aside time each day, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, to be alone with your thoughts. Turn off your phone, sit in a quiet space, and just observe what comes up. It's in these moments of stillness that you can start to tap into your deeper self. Takeaway number 3: loneliness as an opportunity for growth. Gavrani's perspective on loneliness is refreshing because she doesn't view it as something to be entirely feared or avoided. Instead, she sees it as a natural part of the human experience that can serve as a catalyst for growth. In the book, she describes how her periods of intense loneliness led her to profound insights about herself, her relationships, and her place in the world. Rather than trying to escape loneliness by filling the void with distractions, like endless social media scrolling or superficial relationships, Gavrani suggests that we sit with our loneliness and ask what it's trying to teach us. What are the emotions underlying our loneliness? What unmet needs are we trying to avoid? Practical tip: when you feel lonely, instead of immediately reaching for your phone or trying to numb the feeling, take a moment to reflect. What is this loneliness telling you about your deeper needs? It might be that you're craving more meaningful connection, or perhaps you're feeling disconnected from yourself. Either way, loneliness can be a valuable guide if we're willing to listen. Takeaway number 4: finding strength and creativity in solitude. Another powerful insight from the book is that solitude can be a source of strength and creativity. Gavrani argues that some of the greatest creative works in history have been born out of solitude. Think of writers, artists, and thinkers who spent long periods alone, tapping into their deepest selves to create something meaningful. Solitude, Gavrani says, gives us the space to explore our creativity without the distractions or judgments of others. It's a time to experiment, reflect, and cultivate our inner resources. In solitude, we can nurture our passions and ideas, which can lead to a deeper sense of fulfillment. Practical tip: use your moments of solitude to engage in a creative activity, whether it's writing, painting, or even brainstorming new ideas for a project. Without the noise of the outside world, you may find that your creativity flows more freely. Takeaway number 5. Building a relationship with yourself. Finally, Gavrani emphasizes that the key to transforming loneliness into solitude is to build a strong, loving relationship with yourself. She encourages us to become our own best friend, to treat ourselves with kindness and compassion, and to find joy in our own company. She talks about the importance of self-care rituals, whether it's taking yourself out for a coffee, spending time journaling, or simply enjoying a quiet walk. The idea is to create a life where you genuinely enjoy your own presence and see solitude not as something to be feared, but as something to cherish. Practical tip: start by doing one small thing for yourself each day that brings you joy. It could be something as simple as taking 10 minutes to read a book you love, or treating yourself to your favorite meal. Over time, you'll find that these little acts of self-care help you build a more positive relationship with yourself. So, how can you start applying the lessons from the art of being alone in your own life? Here are a few practical steps. Schedule solitude. Set aside dedicated time each day or week to be alone, without distractions. Use this time for reflection, creative projects, or simply to recharge. Embrace discomfort. When loneliness arises, don't run from it. Instead, explore it. What can you learn about yourself during these moments of discomfort? Develop self-care rituals. Make a habit of doing something nice for yourself every day. These small acts of self-care can help you build a positive relationship with solitude. Create boundaries. If you're constantly surrounded by others or distracted by technology, it can be hard to connect with yourself. Set boundaries with others and with your devices to carve out more time for solitude. Reflect on your inner world. Use moments of solitude to check in with your thoughts and emotions. Journaling can be a helpful way to process what's going on internally and build greater self-awareness. In conclusion, The Art of Being Alone by Renuka Gavrani is a powerful guide to transforming loneliness into solitude. It's about learning to be at peace with yourself, embracing the beauty of your own company, and using solitude as a tool for growth and creativity. I personally found this book to be incredibly eye-opening. It reminds us that while loneliness can feel like a cage, solitude is something we can choose and even come to love. By building a stronger relationship with ourselves, we unlock the freedom to live more fully, with or without others. I hope this episode inspires you to view your alone time differently, to see it not as something to escape from, but as a gift. What's your relationship with solitude like? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So don't hesitate to connect with me on social media. Thank you for joining me on this introspective journey through the art of being alone. I hope this episode has given you a fresh perspective on solitude and how it can be a source of strength, growth, and peace. Loneliness might feel like a cage, but solitude, that's where we find our true selves. Remember, solitude isn't about being alone. It's about connecting more deeply with yourself. So, the next time you find yourself alone, embrace it. You might discover a deeper, more authentic you in the process. If today's episode resonated with you, please share your thoughts or experiences on our social media pages. And don't forget to subscribe to Rush Hour Reads so you never miss an episode. Next time, we'll dive into a book that takes a radically different approach to life, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F by Mark Manson. It's a no-nonsense guide to living authentically, and I can't wait to share it with you. Until then, this is Rush Hour Reads, reminding you to take some time for yourself, whether it's a quiet moment in your day or a book that sparks your curiosity. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of Rush Hour Reads.